There is a 30+ inch diameter laurel oak tree growing within 5 inches of a house. This house has a frequent occupancy. See that big ding in the gutter up there? This tree is already showing signs of decline. The ding in the gutter was caused by a fallen limb. This tree had several leaders with extensive decay and several large broken and dead branches. I mean, after all, we did just get hit by Hurricane Nicole. I decided I'd try something different and do a time lapse of us removing this entire tree. I know, clean the window because the view sucks. Well, hopefully this is a little bit better as best I could do while I was in the middle of operating a crane. When removing large trees like this, it is very helpful to utilize our crane, especially on trees that overextend roofs. I mean, I had to lift it over this 3-story building and set it down in the street. All the while struggling with this camphor tree you can see in the frame here. This is what I look like operating the crane. That's me with my earmuffs on. That's them unstrapping the limbs. Technically, they're not earmuffs, they're comms. I'm communicating with the climber and the chief on the ground. I wanted to give y'all some different views so you can see what the crane cab looks like. The screen on the bottom right there, that's my LMI, also known as the load moment indicator. That acts as a secondary tool to my load charts to determine what my crane is good for, how much a piece weighs, the angle of my boom, the height of the boom, the height of the ball, and various other things. This crane is mounted to a truck, so it tells me the fuel gauge of the truck and also the hours of the truck and the crane itself. It'll tell me if my platform is level, and what I think most importantly, it'll tell me the percentage I am towards maximum capacity. For the question I commonly get as to how do you take a tree like that down? Well, it's kind of like eating an elephant, one bite at a time. Utilizing cranes for tree work is totally different than climbing, and it's totally different than using a bucket truck by itself. You see, when you're using a bucket truck or climbing, you start at the bottom of the tree, removing the lower limbs first. If you were to remove the top limbs, they would get caught up in the bottom limbs because gravity is what controls where this piece would go. But with the crane, we start at the top first, because all the pieces will be hoisted vertically into the air and then removed piece by piece downward. And I don't care how great of a tree guy you are, it takes a team to do these trees as efficiently as we do. I mean, we started from literally nothing, a chainsaw and a pickup truck. And as the years go by, we've acquired different pieces of machinery, all that have made our job easier and safer. And of course, by owning these pieces of machinery, making our job easier and safer, they go faster too. So the amount of money you make increases. It's like building a snowball. But just like the rate of money increases, the rate of expenses increases. With more diesel, hourly rates go up, and the cost of machinery, many of the pieces you see in this video cost more than most houses. So when you hear a tree company say that'll be $3, $4, $5, or even $6,000, don't be surprised. The investment required just to ensure that your property looks as good, if not better, when we got there costs a lot of money. Also, make sure anybody doing your tree work hauls away all their own debris, because that's an expense that has to be paid too. So if you receive a written estimate, make sure that's on it. This tree looks a bit different, doesn't it? With the camera angle zoomed in, see how close that tree trunk is to that house? The way you make this cut is very important, as well as the way you strap it. The straps need to be staggered on either side of the pole so it lifts straight up in the air. Now notice, when he makes his cut, he starts on the side of the house. He brings his saw around the front. Eventually he'll come back around and finish his cut in a safer position. Right in here is where he finishes the cut off. This ensures he won't get pinched between the house, and when the tree comes off, he'll have plenty of room to get away from it. And while this tree's still coming down, that's our loader truck pulling in to clean up the debris. You see there's no debris here. And by the time we pack the crane up, all the debris will be gone, the crew will be on to the next job, and the job will be complete. There's still one tree of concern over this roof. It's that dang camphor tree I mentioned earlier in the video. But we're not going to remove the tree. This tree does have extensive decay in one of the leaders, so we're going to lighten it up. We're going to take out the central stem on one of the leaders. It's like a tridominant leader. This stem will take a significant amount of weight and stress off of that bad spot I told you about, in turn decreasing the likelihood that a major leader will fall off onto the roof, damaging this homeowner's property. Gator Tree Service was started in 1993. I was born into this. I've been in the tree industry for 20 years. I've been a certified arborist since 2011. I've achieved the tree risk assessment qualification. I do run several other YouTube channels, but since I'm the most knowledgeable in this field, I think I should keep uploading more. I'm going to be uploading at least a video a week, so make sure you subscribe for more great videos.
So
we'll see you next time.
A lot of big dead limbs that were breaking out, and that reason is because of the root system. Anything that has bad root system, it dies from the tip back. And rot or decay will form on the inside and decay from the inside outward. So this was why we took it out.